इस गाने की शुरुआत for me starts with the poetry. My romance with Sufi poetry goes back about 8 to 10 years back. My first song which I really got attracted to in the Sufi realm was "मैं कमलियाँ." Now this kamli in Punjabi means crazy. पंजे सत्ते क्यों अलबेली कत्ते. Hi, I am Radhika Sood Nayak. I am a Sufi singer and I am extremely delighted to be on Radio City Indie today. The song is actually इस गाने की शुरुआत for me starts with the poetry. जो ये पोइट्री है जो कि जिसके पोएट हैं शाह हुसैन, who is also popularly known as Madholal Hussain. I'll talk about him a bit later, but about this poetry. So when I first read this काफ़ी, क्यों अलबेली कत्ते, बस वो जो अलबेली लफ्ज़ था, that sort of hit me. And that gripped me और उसकी वजह से ये शायद ये गाना आगे बढ़ा. मेरे जहन में ये पोएट्री एक गाना बन के आई. And then of course, the rest followed. तो एज आई सेड पहले तो ये पोइट्री देखी और उस समय मैं शाह हुसैन के कलाम पे काम कर रही थी एंड दिस केम इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी सो आई कंपोज्ड इट एंड देन आई अप्रोच्ड वेरी वेरी एक्सपर्ट गिटारिस्ट नील मुखर्जी. ही हैज़ प्लेड द गिटार्स एंड ही हैज़ मेड द म्यूजिक अरेंजमेंट एंड ही प्रोड्यूस्ड द एंटायर सॉन्ग एंड वंस द सॉन्ग वाज रेडी then of course I was thinking about how to visualize it, and when that stage came तो मेरे जहन में एक ही इंसान था जो मुझे लगा इसको the one who will do justice to this poetry and this song, and that was Abu Zar Madhu. Now Abu Zar is a dancer, he's a theatre expert who lives in Lahore and here I am in Mumbai. तो फिर वो पूरा सिलसिला of reaching the song to him in Lahore. It's another story how I met Abu Zar. I will share that also today. But yes, the song reached him. And फिर ये जो पूरी visualization हुई है जो अबू ज़र ने उसको अपनी नज़रों से interpret किया है with his movement, and उसके साथ कई और लोग जुड़े वहाँ पे लाहौर में. सना जाफरी हैं जिन्होंने दूसरा कैरेक्टर प्ले किया है इस गाने में, और फिर सलमान आलम खान हैं द डायरेक्टर ऑफ दिस पीस, एंड देयर आर वेरी गुड कैमरा पर्सन्स फ्रॉम लाहौर. तो उन सब ने मिलके ये एक गाना ये एक वीडियो तैयार किया एंड दे सेंट इट बैक टू मी एंड आई हैड एब्सोल्युटली नो क्लू कि मुझे क्या दिखने वाला है. सो दिस वाज द मोस्ट ब्यूटिफुल गिफ्ट दैट आई हैव रिसीव्ड. It's the best ever surprise that I have received. So yes, I'm very deeply grateful to Abu Zar and to the entire team there. So Shweta, my romance with Sufi poetry goes back about 8 to 10 years back. My first song which I really got attracted to in the Sufi realm was "मैं कमलियाँ." Now this kamli in Punjabi means crazy. So I'm struck by the coincidence how Albeli also sort of struck at my heart. Perhaps there's something about that image of the feminine which really resonated with me. So वो जब मैंने उस कलाम को जब सुना पहली बार, I knew I had to sing it. So till then I was learning Hindustani classical. I still learn. I'm still a student of Hindustani classical music. पर फिर मैंने सूफी कलाम पर थोड़ा सा और पढ़ना शुरू किया. बुल्ले शाह का कलाम पढ़ा और 2015 में मैंने पहली बार मुंबई कबीर फेस्टिवल में बुल्ले शाह का पूरा एक कलाम का एक म्यूजिकल नैरेटिव बना के I presented that. And that's how my journey with Sufi music began. So then, other poets, for instance, Shah Hussain entered my life about 4 years back. And I started reading his poetry. I started singing it. We did a musical narrative on that also. We've also done a dance music narrative on that. So Shah Hussain has been really after my heart for the last few years. And so Kyon Albeli Katte also was in the same flow for me. So like I said, मेरी 2000 करीब 10 साल पहले बुल्ले शाह से पहली मुलाकात हुई. Now these are poets who belong to Punjab, the Sanjha Punjab. This was before the two nations were torn apart, right? So So that's been my first introduction to Sufi poetry. And this whole relationship with with this collaboration that took shape in this, actually ये like I said, ये संगत की देन है, ये लॉकडाउन की देन है, ये जूम की देन है. और इसमें इनफैक्ट इस गाने से पहले जो गाना मैंने रिकॉर्ड किया था, इट्स ऑल्सो शाह हुसैन्स पोइट्री. इट्स कॉल्ड सुन जिंदनी, लिसन ओ डियर लाइफ. तो उसमें आई हैड अप्रोच्ड अनदर ऑफ माय Zoom friends, Huma Safdar. She's an artist who lives in, she's a painter who lives in Lahore. And she interpreted that song on her canvas. So she has painted that song as she visualizes it on a canvas, and we made that into a music video. So this collaboration is, I think it's an offspring of our common love for our common poetry, for our common past, for our the language, Punjabi language, what we call our Sanjha culture. That's a beautiful question, because that's really the first word that appealed to me. So मेरे जहन में Albeli is this carefree lass, this carefree girl. And she is not bound by worldly rituals, worldly do's and don'ts, the societal norms. तो इनफैक्ट पोइट्री में ही जिस तरह शाह हुसैन कहते हैं, लगा इश्क चुक्की मसलाहत, कि जब से उससे इश्क हुआ है, ये जो मसलाहत है, दिस प्रूडेंस, दिस राइट एंड रॉन्ग, द वर्ल्डली डेफिनेशन ऑफ व्हाट इज राइट एंड रॉन्ग, वो सब मिट गई है. लगा इश्क चुक्की मसलाहत, विसरियां पंजे सत्ते. तो ये जो विसरियां पंजे सत्ते, मतलब मैं 5-7 को भूल गई हूँ, मैंने उसको विसार दिया है. So ये 5 पंजे सत्ते in my head, the way I interpret it is this whole aspect of calculating things, of using your mind where your heart should be working. कि हम जो इतना calculations करते हैं, जो हिसाब किताब रखते हैं of everything, even the way we have to approach the divine, we are being told कि इस तरीके से करें हम, एक तरीका हमें prescribe किया जाता है. So this Albeli is transcending that. She is transcending that तरीका, and she is saying, क्यों अलबेली कत्ते जिना इश्क तिना कतना केहा. सो ये जो इसमें एक और चीज़ का जिक्र मैं करना चाहती हूँ, कि जो कतना है, दिस कतना इज अ पंजाबी वर्ड, हिंदी में हम इसको कातना कहते हैं, विच इज स्पिनिंग द चरखा. सो व्हाट इज दिस होल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ स्पिनिंग दैट द पोएट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट. तो स्पिनिंग का जो मतलब इस पोइट्री में है, या बहुत सारी पोइट्री में है, वो ये है कि जो रिचुअल्स जो हम पर इम्पोज किए जाते हैं बाय द वर्ल्ड, वो कह रहे कि जिना इश्क तिना कतना केहा. जब आपको इश्क है उससे, दैट लव इज इनफ फॉर यू टू रीच द डिवाइन. यू डोंट हैव टू फॉलो एनी वर्ल्डली रिचुअल्स. एंड बिकॉज शाह हुसैन वॉज अ वीवर, अ जुलाहा, तो उनकी कलाम में बहुत बार ये कतने की बात और ये चरखा और इन सब के जो है इमेजेस आती हैं टू कन्वे हिज मैसेज. I would love to believe that. I aspire to be one. Let me say that in every action of mine, I aspire to be an Albeli. लगा इश्क इश्क इश्क, लगा इश्क चुकी मसलाहत, विसरिया पंजे सत्ते, विसरिया पंजे सत्ते, क्यों अलबेली कत्ते, क्यों अलबेली कत्ते, जिना इश्क तिना कतना के हा, जिना इश्क तिना कतना के हा, क्यों अलबेली कत्ते, क्यों अलबेली कत्ते. So Shah Hussein's poetry is something that I'm still exploring. It's a vast ocean waiting to be explored. But uske alawa, there is actually now my gaze is fixed on Kabir Bani, which has been included in the Guru Granth Sahib. So there are about 250 such shabads of Kabir which find their place in the Guru Granth Sahib. So I am exploring that to see which are the ones that I could sing and share with the world. So that's my area of interest as of now, which I have just begun working on. I think, Shweta, the beginning point in this search or in this talash is Baba Bulle Shah. He's a poet from the 17th century, and his poetry, we've actually all heard his poetry in some form or the other, like Bulla ki jana मैं कौन, की जाना मैं कौन, हमने वो सुना है. Like I mentioned, मैं कमलियाँ. There is a whole body of poetry which is available to be heard. I would definitely say that listen to him first and then read him. So that attraction which will develop through the song will actually lead you much deeper into the poetry. So yes, Baba Bulle Shah is one poet who must be read. I think he should be taught in schools. We should all hear more of him, and that's something that I would like to also participate in that journey. And of course, Shah Hussain. Shah Hussain, some of his kalam is really beautiful. Kabir, who's already a very celebrated poet in our country. Kabir needs to be heard far more because more than anything for his message. You know, his message of oneness, of harmony, of denouncing these unnecessary rituals, and how we are all getting distracted by the wrong things. So he brings our gaze back on what really counts, what really matters. So yes, we must, all of us should be reading more of these poets and listening to more of these poets. I think for all of us Albelis here in this universe, the what really should matter is to keep our inner spirit alive, you know, and somewhere not let the worldly do's and don'ts, the worldly norms dictate how we live, how we behave, what are the choices we make, and what are the rules we live by. They should be our own, you know, we should be guided by our own inner voice, is what I feel we all need to, is how I see an Albeli. And I think there is an Albeli in all of us. We just need to spot that. We just need to give her that voice, that little space in the sun. It was a very special experience to be on Radio City Indie today. For more such content, please do follow their channel. Thank you. Radio City.